Okay, this is a test review for stage 5. This is the quiz that you took today. What it is asking you to do is determine the number of either a noun or of a verb based on the information that you're given. In the first sentence, we have Puella and Wea sede. We need an ending for that verb. In order for us to look for ending for the verb, we need to find the subject of the sentence, which is Puella. Puella is singular. It is a third person T. If I have a nominative singular noun, like Puella, more than likely I'm going to get the letter T to complete that sentence. Next one, I have sede again, tu and we sede. I need an ending for sede, so I look to the noun tu, which is our nominative. Tu is second person, singular, so it needs to have a second person singular ending, which is S. Number 3 is pueri and wea sede. I need an ending for sede again. I look to the nominative. The letter I signifies that pueri is a plural nominative noun. For a plural nominative noun, I use nt to end my verb. Number 4, ego in wea sede. I need to complete it. I look to the pronoun ego. Pronoun ego uses O because it is first person and singular. Number 5, mercatoris in wea sede. I look to mercatoris. I see es. Es I know is the plural form in the third declension of mercatoris, so I have a third declension noun. It is plural, so I have a nominative plural noun. Nominative plural noun is going to get an nt. Number 6, this time I have the verb completed. I do not, however, have the noun completed. I need to determine whether or not it is a nominative noun or an accusative noun, because it could be either one. So I'm going to read through the sentence. Puel, not completed, in cubiculum dormit. So I'm either going to use puella, which I'm going to use. The girl sleeps in the bedroom, because if I use puellam, the accusative, it would not make sense. He sleeps, the girl in the bedroom does not make sense. Number 7, once again, I have a completed verb. I don't have anything here, so I'm asking for a pronoun. Ego is the first person pronoun. It goes with the letter O. Number 8, I have served incomplete. I have in cubiculum, and then I go to my verb, third person plural. Now I have to decide whether or not servus is first, second, or third declension, because that would affect my ending. If it were first declension, I would use AE. If it were second declension, I would use the letter I. If it were third declension, I would use the letters E and S. I know that servus is second, so I use the letter I. The next one here is servus mercator salutat. I need to complete mercator. I look to the verb. It is third person singular. I already have a singular nominative noun. So that means that mercator is not going to be nominative. It's going to be accusative, because the slave greets the merchant or the merchants. It could be either one. I could use either the ES accusative plural ending or the EM singular accusative ending. Number 10, Mattel, not completed, mercator salutat. Once again, I have a third person singular, but I also already have a singular nominative noun. So I need an accusative. Metella is either first, second, or third declension. If it's first declension, I use AM. Second declension, UM. And third declension, I would use EM. I think I messed that up. Metella is first declension, so I'm going to use AM. Those are the correct answers for your quizzes today. This will also help you prepare for your test tomorrow. Moving on. Answer the following. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to pause, and I want you to try to answer all of these questions and unpause, and I'll give you the answers. Okay, in the first one, Mercator is what kind of noun? Well, it's third declension. It is singular. It is masculine. It is nominative. So it's got a lot of qualities that you should have been able to pick out about it. Mercatorum is in the what case? It is in the accusative case. The em ending, m tells me that I have an accusative singular. S is a what kind of verb? Well, I know that it's third person. I know that it is singular. And I know that it comes from the conjugation of sum. S is in the what person? Well, third. Ambulant is a blank verb. Well, it's first conjugation. It is third person. And it is plural. I'm sure that I repeated myself here. Ambulant is in the blank person, third. Ambulos is in the second person. The NT says that I am third person and plural. The S says that I am second person and singular. Let's scroll down here a little bit. Use the form of dormio for the following. So you're going to use the verb dormio, and I'll give you the forms. There's dormio, dormire, I believe those are them, and then it's to sleep. So I want to complete these four using dormio. So hit pause, try it out. Let's see if you get it in right. Okay, number one, I see the pronoun being used as to. If I think about my personal endings, I would use O, S, T, moose, which we haven't learned yet, tis, which we have not learned yet, or NT, which is our new ending for this week. O is first person and singular. S is second person and singular. T is third person and singular. And then these are the plural forms. The NT is the one that is new for this week. This one, number one, is asking you basically to determine what kind of pronoun is used for the first or the second persons. For the first person, I use ego. For the second person, I use to. This one has to, so I want to use the second person singular ending, which is S. Dormis. Number two, canis and via. I have a singular, nominative, noun. That puts me in the third person singular. So I use the T. I use the T that's right here. For the next one, I have another one, ego. Here it is, right here, first person singular. So I need to use the letter O. Dormio. Number four, I have canis. It ends in ES. That makes it a nominative plural. So I need a plural. There it is. I need a plural. So I need to use NT. Now, here's the issue. Remember that fourth conjugation, we get all I's and a U. Okay? So I need an I and a U to complete this. Dormiunt. Let me explain that a little better. Remember, with our first conjugation, we have the RE. We take off the ARE. First conjugation uses the letter A, and then we add our personal ending. Second conjugation, same thing. I get docere. take off my ERE. Second conjugation uses the letter E, then I add my T. The third and the fourth are the ones that are kind of tricky. So I get Ducera. I take off the ERE, and I have to remember that for the third I get 4 I's and a U. So that means for the third person plural I use a U, for everything else I use an I. So I would say Ducat, but for the plural I need that U. Ducat. For the fourth conjugation, like dormio, I have dormire. So I take off the IRE. This one is all I's and a U. So I'm going to have an I on every single one, plus the ending. And then for the plural, I still need an I and a U. Dormium. Here I'm asking you to use a noun to complete the sentence. I want you to hit pause and see if you can use the form of puella to determine, or a form of puella to finish the sentence. So we need to look at the verb and decide whether or not I need a nominative or an accusative, a singular or a plural. So hit pause and try those out. In number 1, I have a singular third person noun. I have a singular accusative noun. So I need a singular nominative to complete the sentence, which is puella. In number 2, however, I do have a third person singular, but I also have a third person singular nominative. So the subject and the verb are already completed. I don't need a subject. I don't need a nominative. I need an accusative to complete that sentence. So in number 1, I have the girl. Number 1, I have the girl pleases the boy. And number 2, I have the mother pleases the girl. That singular nominative tells me that I already completed my subject verb, so I need an accusative to create that direct object. In number 1, I have the verb and I have the direct object in the accusative. I'm missing that nominative form. I know it's singular because of the T. In the next one, we have dilectante. So I'm looking for a third person plural. I have already completed the verb. I've already completed, by looking at puerum, I've already have the accusative, the direct object, so I need a subject. The third person plural, nominative ending for puella, plural nominative, puellae. In number 4, I'm assuming that it's basically mirroring this guy. I have matris, which I'm going to say is my direct object. We also know that es could be nominative, but let's assume that it's not in this sentence. I have a third person plural, so I have the direct. I said nominative. I'll just assume it's nominative, which means I already have my subject. I've completed subject verb, so I need an accusative. Well on. That one right there, kind of a poor example because I used matres, which could be nominative or accusative. My apologies. These are the questions about the theater that you should be able to answer. There are several of them. We'll go through them and then I'll scroll down. What I want you to do is go through here and answer all of these and make sure that you're aware of the answers so that you can do a little bit better on the cultural part of your test. So hit pause, answer them up, and I'll give you the answers. Number 1, who had tickets or tokens to the play? That would be the wealthy. The wealthy people did. What was the purpose of the tickets? That told them which gate to enter. So it's kind of a way to control the traffic that was going in and out of the theater. Who paid for the performances? That would be wealthy Roman citizens or wealthy Pompeian citizens. Why? Usually for some kind of political advantage and, well, just for kind of a social uplifting. Awning was used when, on really sunny days, they put it up to protect them from the sun. The sailors would be in charge of that. That makes sense, since they would be um, experienced using canvas because they're using sails on boats. What would hinder this process? The wind. We wouldn't use it on windy days. It'd be a little tough to put those awnings up. The genre of plays that were normally performed, you had comedies, you had tragedies, and you had pantomimes. How would the public identify their favorite actors? With a mask that they wore. When were plays held? They were held on festival days. When would they leave for the theater? They would leave in the mornings. Who reserved the best seats? Wealthy Roman citizens. What are the scaena? That would be the stage. The orchestra, that's the seating right in front of the stage. The cavea is the regular seating area, and the Odeon is another theater nearby that was indoor. It was an indoor theater. How long did the plays last? They would last all day. What is a pantomime? That was a play that was usually Greek in origin. Nationality of the actors, they were Greek actors. From where did the plot come? It came from Greek mythology, usually. The pantomime normally didn't have like a stage actor. It was more of kind of an opera. They sang, not too much straight acting. Who sang the songs which the actor danced? That came from people in the orchestra. What were the masks made of? We had plaster. For the most part, they were made out of plaster, maybe some kind of almost a concrete. Okay, hit pause and answer these last four. Make sure we're good with those. What were vulgar farces? These were plays usually usually depicting some sort of country lifestyle, basically making fun of the country lifestyle. What happened during the intermission? They sprinkled some scented water everywhere. How many people could the theater hold? 5 grand. What was the plot line of Plautus' plays? Plautus was interesting. Most of his plays would have some kind of wealthy young man, kind of a spoiled young man, some negative qualities, and he was usually helped along by some kind of intelligent slave. Okay, here are the English words that you're going to use. I want you to go through here and I want you to do 2 things. Number 1, I want you to know the definitions of these, but number 2, I want you to see the Latin words from which these words come. So answer those, hit pause and answer those. Okay, let's see how you did here. Number 1, agriculture. That would come from agricola, which has to do with farmers. Agriculture is the study of farming. Audience, coming from audio, which means to hear. An audience are the people that are hearing whatever play or whatever speech you are doing. Contentious, this is a little tougher. It comes from contendo, which means to hurry. But contentious is usually something that is full of dispute, something that's kind of causing a lot of friction between 2 parties. Usually, it's some sort of debate or whatever in which hurried decisions or hasty decisions or hasty opinions are made, and that's where the disputes come from. Optimistic, coming from optimus. Optimistic is whenever we feel like the best things, the best things could happen. Preamble, coming from ambulare, or ambulo, sorry, I've been using the first person singular. Ambulo means to walk. Pre means before. So if I'm walking you through something before, I get a preamble. Usually having to do with writing or speeches, and I'm kind of walking you through what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to write about. Next we have convene. The word that we have in Latin is veneo, which means to come. Co means together, so to come together is to convene or to meet. Multitude from multus, which is much or many. Multitude represents a large group of many people together. Spectator from specto, which means to watch, and a spectator watches. Suburb from urbis. Urbis is from herbs. Herbs is city. Suburb, sub means under, so under the city is a suburb. So if you think of a map, you have Tulsa here, and then the suburb would be under the city. So that would be your Bixby's, your Sand Springs, your Sapulpas, above the city, but we don't really call it that. But you have a suburb like Owasso, you have Collinsville. Those are suburbs. Ubiquitous, okay, ubi is where that comes from. And ubiquitous means that it is, where do I find it? Where do I find it? I find it everywhere. Case, number, also should have included person. Read this short translation right here. Read this short translation right here, and then answer those 5 questions that follow. So hit pause, read that, translate it, and then answer those questions that follow. Okay, so I start off with actores in scena sunt. The actors are on the stage. Fabula agit, they are performing a play, or an actor performs a play. I really should have used agit, my bad, because there are more than one actor. Spectator shouts, "Pest! You are not good." Actors are not happy. An actor, a singular actor, jumps from the stage and beats the spectator. Spectators laugh. What is the case of actores? Actores is in the nominative case. Number, it is plural. What is the case of fabulon? It is accusative and it is singular. What is the case of actor? It is nominative and it is singular. What is the person of verberat? Where's it at? Right here. It is third person and it is singular. What person is readent? Readent is third person and plural. This is an important skill that you're going to have to use for your test. You're going to have to be able to look at a translation. You're going to have to be able to pick out the words in the translation to decide what case they are, what number they are, or if it's a verb, what person they are, and what number they are. One of the things I want to go over very quickly is the conjugations. We'll use ambulo. And I want to make sure that you guys understand when to use a pronoun, or when to use a pronoun and when to use a nominative singular. And this is to walk. Okay, if I have ambulat, it is third person, it is singular, so that one needs a nominative, singular, noun. So I could use stuff like servus, that US says that I am a nominative singular noun. I could use puella. The A says I'm a singular nominative noun. I could use Uranus. There is no ending here. This is a third declension, but it is singular and nominative. Okay, if I use ambulant, that now I need a third. Nope, it is third person, it is plural. So I need a nominative. Remember, it's plural. So I need a plural noun. Nominative plural noun. So now I could use words like servi. That I says I am nominative and plural. I could use puelli. Once again, the AE tells me that I am nominative and plural. Or I could use Wayne. Yes, the ES tells me that I'm nominative and plural. The other two that we've learned, and this is going to show up on your test, are the second person singular, ambulos. And that guy says I'm S, I'm second person in singular. The pronoun that I use is to. If I use ambulo, that O says I am first person in singular, so I would use the pronoun ego. This concludes your Stage 5 review. Good luck.